Hey everyone. So I want to put this out to kind of respond to uh, kind of a momentary delay on content. So to kind of give you a real life behind the scenes. So several days ago, I got my second vaccine shot, and I didn't have a very pleasant reaction to it. Basically, felt like I was, kind of experiencing a mild fever, with, body and head heating up, sometimes experiencing shivers and such. Also was having, headache issues, of course the arm pain, but then of course it affected my ability to sleep. The first night I don't even know if I got any sleep that night. And of course, it just kind of made the headache and such worse. So let's just say I have not exactly been in the most optimal of conditions to sit down and record content for the channel. I couldn't even trust myself to get behind the wheel of my car to go to work, and had to call out at least, just once. I had gotten time off anticipating I may have a bad reaction. So, yeah, I'm doing fine now, though. It feels like the worst has passed. I think I'm back to 100% now. I don't even really feel pain where the shot was. I was feeling that yesterday. I don't feel it today. So I think it's all behind me now. So I'm vaccinated now. Yay! So anyways, you may have also caught in the last part of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition playthrough that I kind of talked about some of the tech issues I was having in terms of the weird frame rate drops that happened at random points. And I've noticed it also has to do with certain types of things that have been popping up on my screen. If there's like kind of a bright green or bright blue forest type of area, kind of like in World of Warcraft, if I'm either in Ardenweald or if I'm in the Emerald Dreamway or such, it just really affects my system. Now, I don't really know why those particular areas cause that. It is that is in those areas that cause this. If you, perhaps the more knowledgeable PC people out there, more so than me, if you know why those kinds of areas would kind of cause those momentary drops in frame rate or such on a rig or a system, by all means chime in and let me know. I've been trying to figure out what is causing the problem. The One of the possible solutions to this that I've been looking into has it possibly been maybe it's either memory or RAM. I currently have 16 gigs of RAM on this, which is not bad, but it's not amazing or great or anything. So I have gone ahead with my more recent paycheck, gone ahead and ordered a couple of new RAM sticks, so I can be able to get up to 32 gigs of RAM. Not sure if that's going to fix the issue or not, but it would probably be a good idea for the long run for anything else that perhaps requires more RAM or memory or whatever. It's also possible maybe it could be a modder issue. You guys wouldn't be able to tell on watching on this video on YouTube in terms of how it looks on my monitor. And I don't exactly have a up-to-date modern monitor. I think I may have to end up getting one that's more capable of some of the more recent modern stuff. I've noticed a number of games have been coming out with a resolution that's like 3860, 2480 or something like that. Whereas really the more optimal one for this monitor is still the standard 1920, 1080. I forget what the hertz on this one is, but I've had this monitor for a number of years now. So it's possible I may need to... It could be a monitor issue. I'm not entirely sure about that, because I'm not really sure how that exactly works. But if perhaps that could be it, maybe I'm just now running a rig that's too good for the monitor and the monitor can't handle it. Let me know if that could be the case. I very much would love to have input from any viewers who know a thing or two about this. So, yeah, the new RAM 6 are supposed to arrive tomorrow. I'll put those in and test some things out, see how it goes. So yeah, sick and tech issues have been part of the reason. I would want to wait until I got the new RAM so I could continue. So once I am back to a position where I feel like regardless if the frame rate stuff gets fixed or not, I'm still going to try and continue with the content in games like, Mass Effect and WoW and such. I am considering something, and there's a reason why you're seeing this on your screen right now. So, first off, let me just say, for those of you who have seen my Dragon Age playthroughs, it is, according to my analytics, it is my most watched playthrough and videos that I have on my channel, to which I say thank you. Thank you so much. For those of you who have been watching and leaving comments at various parts on those playthroughs, it warms my heart anytime I see someone make comments on that, even though that those playthroughs are several years old now at this point. But especially considering that I did those on the PlayStation 3 for Origins and 2, and then did Inquisition on my PS4. I have been recently entertaining. I think it's because we've been going through Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's been kind of tickling my nostalgia button, not just for Mass Effect, but let's just say I also recently kind of took another look at this, and I've made it very clear. Dragon Age Origins is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. It's just as near and dear to my heart as Mass Effect is. More so when the Mass Effect series, because if you were to ask me which way I would prefer, Dragon Age Origins or Mass Effect 1, Dragon Age Origins by far. Now, even though Origins is not the most technically sound game out there, I do think that Origins is able to run better so than Mass Effect 1 did back in the day, even though it still has issues. One of the more well-known issues it has is memory leak issues. This is probably one of the reasons why it was such a issue, especially on a PlayStation 3. But you guys remember how long my loading screens would take on that Dragon Age run on my PlayStation 3? They would take, it felt like a minute. It just, oh my goodness. Looking back, I cannot believe, what it was like playing that game on the PlayStation 3. And then I played this on PC, and it was just such a night and day difference. This game runs so much better, and it has extra features and such here on the PC that it didn't have on PlayStation 3, like the tactical camera where you can zoom out and do tactical stuff. I love that feature. I love that so much. Also, mods. Now, this game doesn't officially support mods, but over the years, people, of course, have been able to come up with mods and find ways to get mods to run in this game. Of course, courtesy of things such as Nexus Mod Manager and things like that. So because of the mods, it allows you to have new experiences with this game that is over a decade old, and yet because of mods like that, it allows you to have kind of a fresh new experience with this game that you didn't have before. And I love that. That's one of the things I absolutely love about the modding community for games like this. They let me be able to have a new experience with a game I've played many times and is over a decade old, and yet I'm able to have a brand new experience. So let's just say I've been actually entertaining the idea of what if we went back, not just through the Mass Effect series, what if we went back through the Dragon Age series again? I know there was at least one person that said that they were sad when Inquisition ended because they were sad that the journey of at least my Inquisition character, if not my other characters, had kind of come to an end at that point. So I'm very much entertaining kind of in my head, the idea of going through these Dragon Age games again. Back then, it wasn't feasible. The previous machine I was running, it could barely run Inquisition. It did not look good. Origins was able to run fine, and 2 was able to run fine as well. Inquisition, of course, was the big issue. a little bit indecisive and having trouble deciding on what origin we would do and what character we would play this on. I've been tossing it around. There's only a few. I'm not taking like every suggestion, but I would like your guys' input. What origin and character would you want to see me do in this game? And there's a few different ones I'm open to. Now, we don't have... No, forget about Dwarf Noble, because we already did... Excuse me. We already did Dwarf Noble. There's no reason for me to do the Dwarf Noble again, okay? So don't even... Dwarf Noble, no. I also don't want to do the Dwarf Commoner. I don't want to do the Dalish Elf. I don't want to do the City Elf. So you don't even have to bother with those. I am open because we played through Origins as a rogue, and we played through 2 as a mage, and we played through Inquisition as a rogue. I kind of would like to play as a mage again. The thing is, playing as a mage on other older systems was kind of hard to do, because if you use like higher spells like Firestorm or Blizzard, it would just kind of like cause like graphic issues on your screen when that would happen, and well, let's just say some of the stuff in the area wouldn't exactly react all that well to some of those spells. Could cause some bugs, because of course Origins has its fair share of bugs, but it's still pretty fun to play. I don't know if I've never been too fond of Warrior, so here's the thing. I wouldn't mind playing through Mage. I just wish Mage had more than one origin story. It's fine, but it's long and there's only one. I like that. I mean, if you want to play, of course, as a human noble, there's a couple of different options that you can go with in that case. And of course, they have long-term ramifications going forward. If we played, we could play as either a rogue or warrior. Probably warrior, even though not being a rogue, of course, prevents us from being able to like pick locks and such in that opening portion. But still, it's a little bit more fitting in my head to do a warrior as a human noble, and there, considering some of the stuff you can get as well. Also, depending on your gender, you can then either marry, if you play as a female Kuzlin, you can marry Alistair. If you play as a male Kuzlin, you can marry a Nora, which I have done in a run where I didn't exactly do the nicest or good of choices. And then I got rid of Alistair, in favor of Logain, my future father-in-law. Yes, I've done a run like that. Quite an interesting run. And I tried to do so without getting people too mad at me, like to the point where they would just leave my party or try to kill me, and I'd have to kill them. It's tricky, but it's possible. I've done numerous runs of this game where I can actually like have experimented with stuff like that. So I think that's kind of like what I'm leaning towards, is that we do either a mage or a human noble, and probably I guess a human noble warrior at that point. I just am a little indecisive on that, because I wouldn't mind, having the fun gameplay of the mage in Origins, but at the same time, I'm fine with playing as a warrior, since I feel I've always preferred the human noble story more so than the mage story, let me put it that way. I think it's really nice. I think it ties in well to the main plot, the connection with Arl Howe, and I just like the whole, connection that the Kuzlins have with the story. Now, of course, if you play as a human mage, you become an Amel, which, of course, has long-term ramifications as well, because the Amel name comes up, I believe, in Dragon Age 2, if my memory recalls. So you have that connection there. But, yeah, Kuzlins or Amels, I guess you could say. So, and I guess also that's another thing. Like, if we went human noble, because my tendency in the past is I've done, like, a female human noble where I've done all the good choices that I've shown before, and then she marries Alistair, and then they rule together, Ferelden as king and queen. Whereas if I've gone male Kuzland, I've done some of the alternate choices, like siding with Bronca instead of Caradin, of course picking Balin, siding with the Templars and stuff, stuff, choices like that, and then siding with Honora and Loghain and getting rid of Alistair. Even though Alistair's my boy, my bro, I do love Alistair, but in that sense, it's like, okay, yeah, let's remove him from the equation. Gotta make the future wife and father-in-law happy, right? Kind of that role-playing aspect. I sometimes like to enjoy. And, yeah. And then, of course, it has future ramifications, and, of course, the DLCs, and a couple little amusing bits in Awakening when it carries over. Especially, like, one of my favorites is if you do go the male Kuzan Marianora route and such, and Loghain is still alive, he can show up at the place in Awakening and be like, oh, well, like, hello there. I just want to say hi before I'm off. And, of course, because he's talking to you like you're his future son-in-law and such. Like, he mentions, like, so I mentioned the whole and having an heir thing to Honora, and she gave me this horrifying look. So, yeah, it's amusing stuff like that. So I guess I would like to know, like, what would you guys like to see me do in that regard? Would you want me to see me play as a human mage with a, in my opinion, lacking origin story compared to the human noble that the Kuzlans get? Or would you want me to play a human noble warrior? And would you want me to be either male or female in that regard? So I can be able to, which kind of like would influence some of my choice and what kind of run we would do. And then we would kind of like deal with that going forward. I have a pretty good idea. I think I would probably, because we already did a mage in 2. When we get to 2, I would probably stick with maybe a warrior, maybe a 2-handed warrior in 2. And I'm entertaining the idea of, like, we play a mage again in Inquisition, but this time maybe a Qunari Mage. One of those Tal Vashoth type of mages that, well, let's just say playing as a Qunari Mage, you're basically playing on pins and needles, always hopeful that no actual Qunari, oh, hey, how you doing? The the Qunari companion we get, Iron Bull, and you're like, oh, hi, please don't try to, do horrible things to me like the Qunari do. But anyways, this is the stuff I'm kind of entertaining in my head about possible extra runs here for Dragon Age on my PC, just so I can also show you guys what it's like to run this game on a PC compared to what it was like running on PS3 and PS4. Plus, this also opens up the possibility of me using some mods for Origins, which I do intend on using some to enhance the gameplay of Origins. Nothing too crazy, like no overhauls or anything, but like there are some ones like you can bring your dog with you no matter how many slots you've taken up. There's also a mod you can add extra companions to your party and such in camp, which I found very interesting. But yeah, there's really cool, entertaining stuff like that. I don't think I would do as much when it comes to 2. 2 is even more kind of anti-mod than Origins. And then, of course, Inquisition is so anti-mod, it's kind of silly. But yeah, I'm very much entertaining this idea, and I would love your input. So feel free to chime in and let me know. I will try to get back to making and uploading regular content for the channel, especially hopefully after the new RAM sticks get here and I improve the RAM. I don't know if that's going to fix it or not, but we'll see. It'll still be nice, and I will see you guys then.